Killers of the Flower Moon was Martin Scorsese's newest film, and I have incredibly mixed feelings about it. There are many aspects that this film does well, but it does have its fair share of flaws. But let's talk about what this film does well first. First off, the production value is absolutely fantastic. You can really feel the scope and layout of this town and environment and oil plantation. Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro's performances were also really great, and the movie did a great job showing their relationship and their plotting of murders and corruption that went on in this town. There's one more aspect that I really appreciated in this movie, and it was honestly pretty unexpected. Now, this being based off a true story, I was expecting that they would do a little bit of a explanation as to what would happen after the movie ended. And normally what they would do is just show text before the end credits rolled, explain what would happen to the town and these characters and how they died. And instead of doing that, what they did was actually pretty creative and fourth wall breaky. And what they did, you can really tell that this was a very personal story for Martin Scorsese. I don't want to ruin what they did for anybody who plans on seeing this movie, because I think they should experience it for themselves. With that, I think it's about time we talked about the flaws of this movie. For one, it was just way too... The runtime of 3.5 hours, it just did not feel fully justified. And I knew the runtime going into the film, and it definitely was one of my biggest concerns. I distinctly remember at the 2 hour and 40 minute mark, I checked my watch to see how much longer was left, because I really just felt like the movie should end. And there was definitely a time where I felt that this movie was getting monotonous. There was one point where one character was describing something that he'd done to a different group of characters. He's describing what he's doing. There are no visuals to accompany what's going on. But later on in the movie, it just shows a flashback of what he was describing to these characters for seemingly no reason. I just thought, why would show that when that character described it? There was no for the movie to show that when the character described it. Overall, I don't consider this movie to be terrible, but it just certainly didn't feel like it was worth 3.5 hours of runtime, and I can't really imagine anytime soon I'd be watching this again. Overall, I don't consider this movie to be terrible, but it just certainly didn't feel like it was worth 3.5 hours of runtime, and I can't really imagine anytime soon I'd be watching this again, if ever. So I figured this one deserves a 6 out of 10.